Hi, my name is Samantha Amond. I work for BMC Software as a Customer Success Manager, and today we're going to talk about BMC Communities and tricks. And today I have with me Mike Jones, the tooling architect from Atos, and Matt Monsero, who owns BMC Communities. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Mike. So thank you very much for being our guinea pig on showing around community. So I think firstly what we wanted to talk about was what you're doing with your inbox and how you set up your account. So if you'd be kind enough to share your screen.
Yeah, certainly. Right, so I'm currently logged into BMC Communities here. I guess that most of the people who are watching this have used Communities in some respects, so it's worthwhile just having a look at how you set up your profile, I think, to get the best use out of it, particularly with a support sort of matrix as well. If I just bring my profile up.
I think actually just we should point out before people do get to the edit profile stage, if you haven't registered, where the login button is, there is also new register, so you can register yourself and you will receive an email and then you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Good.
So I think it's important in your profile to put your company and your details so that people can recognize you for searching on Communities as when you click on post by other members. It's nice to know where they do, where they're working, what they're doing, and how to contact them. I've removed it from my profile here, but if you have a support agreement with BMC, it's also useful to put your support ID into this profile. And this is really for if you create ideas for product enhancements, it allows your support rep or customer success manager, like Sam in my case, to be able to get reports of everything for Atos in this case, because it's linked to that support profile.
And I think actually, Mike, if we could just go back down into your settings, if we go under the profile, we can show how this is done, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, certainly.
If you can just hover over that. And the other thing to point out for anyone that's listening is when you do set up your profile, for best practice, what we do recommend when you look at putting a username is not to put your email address, is to look for either your name like Mike has done where he's put Mike Jones, or you can put anything for your username, just don't use your email address. So Mike, if you can just go under your settings.
Yes, thank you for that. Just explaining the email addressing. If people use their email address, when their email address becomes public as a username, it's an identifier, so it becomes public. And if they change company, well, they will stick with joe.user@mypreviouscompany.com. So that's not flexible enough.
Yeah, and I'll agree, because that happened to me with my previous company. And although you can get it changed, there's a link you can follow to get it changed. It's easier if you don't have to do that.
Exactly. So well, let's get it right in the first time. So if you have a look at the edit profile and where it says, for example, URL, what you can put into there for anyone that's got any type of websites or something that explains a little bit about them as a person, typically what people will do under a communities file will be to see if there is anything else about someone on the web. I've put myself personally under the URL from advice from Matt, so thank you for this, my LinkedIn profile. So that's something that you can add under the URL. If you have a Twitter ID, BMC is also on Twitter. You can put Twitter details into there. But the most important things that we would say to you would be your first name, your last name, and your email address, just so we can recognise you for who you work for, because it's a lot easier when we're looking up company details. As you can see with Mike's username, you've got Jones Mike. That is where I have my own username, which for anyone that does ever want to connect with me is Marmite. you either love Marmite or you hate it. So there's a little bit of a joke there. So it's a bit of fun because it's a social media platform. But Mike has his name under there, but it doesn't matter as long as it's not his email address. The other thing that I'd want to point out as well, Mike, if you can click back into Edit Profile and Privacy, what is important as a customer is where it says BMC Support ID, if you can just highlight that area so people can see where we're talking about. This would be your personal support ID that you use, and for the right reasons, because we're demoing it and showing you today, we haven't put that in there, but you would put your personal support ID that you log support issues. Something that I do want to point out, and feel free to chime in, Communities isn't BMC support. You can't log support issues via Communities. The only reason we ask for the support ID, and Mike mentioned this earlier, is purely if we need to run any reports or find a way of tracking customers. And one of our later recordings will be on ideas, which is enhancements with product. That is a way of also being able to run a report. That's the main reason. So don't feel concerned if you put in your support ID, it doesn't go out there to everyone. But for today's use, we've not put it on here just to show you. And then something else that's quite helpful, and I'd probably ask Matt to do a bit more of an explanation, is tagging. Why we ask if people have got the opportunity to tag, what's the best use of tagging, and what should customers and BMC people typically put in their tags?
Sure, let's definitely talk about that, and you know, make sure that Mike can leverage that too. So Mike, if you can go again, sorry, on your profile thing. So all the attributes have a role, have a purpose. Like let's begin with tags. Tags is how keywords are searched. So every time you search for BSA, Blade Logic Server Automation, you search for ITIL, you search for you know, any keyword, then as we will see later on, the system gives you the content, you know, documents, blog posts, discussions, ideas with these tags. Also communities with these tags, and also people with these tags. So if you want others in the community to find you when they search BSA, well, you may want to put BSA in your tags, or BMC support in your tags for Samantha. So tagging is just about searching.
Let's do this as an example, because I'd like to obviously show other people when we come later on to how we do the searching, which will be on the next recording. So for the sake of Mike, let's help him here. If you go into the tag, Mike works with Blade Logic. He also has done a little bit with data automation. So what would you recommend that he puts into his tags? And does he do it with a comma, a colon? What's the
Very
best
good
way of
point.
writing it?
Yeah, spaces work. Spaces are enough. So I can't see exactly, but you know, automation, BSA, Blade Logic, Atos, so that you know, from a search point of view, when people search Atos, it may pop up. The goal of the community is people to find each other and learn from each other. So the more we give ways to find us and resources we post and interact on, the better it is.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I normally tag any of my posts, but I've never thought of tagging myself.
That's good. That's good. So other fields, just to mention them. Job title. Well, to set expectations for other users. Am I an IT practitioner? Am I Blade Logic Server Automation admin? Am I all those things? So job titles should make sense.
Okay, so if you want to go back to that screen, Mike, let's add the job title in.
I'll make one up.
Yeah, like, are you like Blade Logic magician within Atos?
Mike's a very important person.
No.
He's a BMC advocate, but he's the technical architect for tooling.
There we go.
Excellent. Don't save it. Don't save it. We have other fields to talk about. So the other fields are again about sharing with others. So how, I mean, if people, you know, nobody talks to a logo.
Yeah.
If people just have anonymous profiles, nobody will interact on posts from this person. The biography field is a good example. If you share things about yourself, and I'm not only thinking about your career that is on LinkedIn already, but biography about I like running like Samantha. I do things that people can connect with. So in my biography, I have some funny stuff, including like social butterfly, and I do not like emails. The biography is a free text where you can put things that help connect with others. So everybody can make his own choice on what to use in it, but that can help.
Okay.
That's for biography. Certification, and let's not fill them out live, but just to describe them, certification is about saying, okay, I've got this ITIL V2, this whatever MSDN, etc. thing. Just talking about what we achieved already. And the more we share about ourselves, the more people will connect with us and learn from us, and it will create tribes of people who share and succeed together.
Yeah, it's a good point actually, and I feel you've picked a poor profile example to show, but I will update it for everything.
Mike, don't even worry about it. Users usually put the minimal things, then use the platform and begin to interact. The tip we're talking about here is how to, see that. Can you see the badge that appeared live? Excellent.
Because you've completed your profile. So actually, in fairness, the reason why I selected you, Mike, was mainly because you're a big advocate of using communities as far as your content that you post, getting the forums, working as someone internally within Atos to try and promote a lot of things that BMC do. So although your profile might have been incomplete, part of today was really to learn about where you can also enhance some of the things that you may not have done. So it'll obviously help you in the long run as well. And I think looking at your profile, you've obviously been awarded another badge from today. And actually, on that note, Matt, it would be great to just explain to people about the mission progress, because as you know, I've been going through my own journey of getting mission progress as a BMC internal person, what they actually mean and how people can actually score points.
I fully agree with it. What about saving that for another call so that we have, eatable chunks of videos enabling on specific stuff?
Okay.
One thing I will say is, as you said, Sam, is I do get a lot of value out of communities, and even having a poor profile doesn't reduce the value, but maybe I'll see connections.
So, Mike, would you mind sharing a teaser of other things we'll talk about later, like the search capability, if you search whatever, server or something?
Up in the search bar.
On the top right.
So I tend to try and restrict the search to the server automation one, because that's my particular. I mean, if you type in this top search bar, searches the whole of communities. If you look at the product drop-down list, there's an awful lot on there. Now, my primary area of expertise and interest is server automation. So I tend to restrict it to that before I put it in.
And that's a good practice.
I was going to say, and just to point out, when you go under the product, you do have to scan them or hover the mouse over to the right, because I think a lot of people will naturally click under product and then it will disappear. It takes a little bit of navigation, but it works exceptionally well. Just a pointer to let people know that you do need to go under the specific product that is of interest to you, and it will be broken down in the components of the product.
Yeah, and here, as you see, you go on the server automation. The recent activity shows all of the latest posts on it, and here's where you react. And also, if you keep an eye on these, and something I use is the Jive app on a tablet. Is you get live notification of these on your tablet. You probably won't be able to see this very well. Let's just see if I can bring this up.
So you will need to stop sharing screen, I believe.
Good point. So
I see you. And what kind of tablet is that?
so that's a Nexus.
Oh, that's an Android tablet?
Yeah, Android Nexus.
Don't move so that it kind of refreshes. So I have a what do you call that? White balance issue. I cannot see clearly. Oh, a bit better here. So yeah, there is a Jive app, both for Android and for iOS, that you can give a try. If you have issues with them, search mobile communities on BMC Communities, and you'll find many enablement tips.
Yeah, I mean, and for me, it's really good for the inbox. So any direct messages you get come directly to the tablet, which you only get if you're logged in.
Cool. Can we finalize with just a teaser about the inbox, Mike, on the web? Because we're already like 10 minutes over what we wanted to, to
Anyone
do.
would think we like to chat. And in fact, I was going to ask if we could go to the inbox, because I think we did want to discuss email streams and things.
So if I do it on my screen, it's easier than trying to focus in on the tablet.
Okay.
Once you're logged in under the...
And Mike, you may want to share screen again.
Yeah, I did click on share screen. It hadn't...
And then you need, to select a screen, and we're good. Excellent.
Yeah. So under my BMC community, the three key. So inbox is where you'll get any notification for any articles that you've posted a comment on or are following, or even there is personal messaging. That's not something that I use. But again, in the inbox you can see all, and this is an example of things that have come into the inbox. And again, on the Jive app, you get these directly.
And something to point out, actually, Matt, if you could just explain, but the buttons that are on the left side, when they've been read, they turn to a smaller circle, and when they've been unread, they're a larger circle. You showed me this a few weeks ago, so I don't know if we can do that as an example, if you can guide Mike.
So actually, I cannot see colors at all, right? Oh, this one, sorry. So that's the way I manage my inbox from iPad here with an iPad app, from mobile Android device, and from the web. I mark as read and unread. So Mike, can you see, for example, the second item with Bill, our friend Bill Robinson? So here you just clicked unread. It's like part of your to-do, and when you're gonna go back on your tablet or your iPhone or something with the Jive app, you will see this item still in your inbox and read.
Yeah, and like you, I read them on the tablet.
And then obviously if you click unread, it will turn to the smaller button again, which was something that I never knew, and I know it was a very recent find, and it's been incredibly helpful for me. So that's great to show. And then I think what we did want to talk about as well, Matt, because we've spent a length of time talking and discussing this, was what the difference is about how you connect and stream which things that go into your inbox, and how you can decide whether or not it just goes into a connection stream or an inbox. So I don't know, again, if you can guide Mike, just so we can show everybody else how to do that. It's very important.
So let's share another view, because we could spend 30 minutes on best practices here just for the inbox. So on the inbox, it's everything you really want to know, you need to know. So I follow my manager on the inbox. I follow key customers I really need to learn from on the inbox. So it will appear on my iPhone, not iPhone here, Android device or iPad. It will appear on the web already in my inbox. Then you can follow people or follow content in other streams. So here you can see connection streams or others that you can customize. Basically, the good way to begin is to follow everything you really care about in your inbox. Just to explain connection stream, every time somebody connects with me, and I've got like 5 to 10 people connecting with me all day because of my business, So I follow them back. But I don't want to follow them back in my inbox. I don't want to see everything they post, everything all these people post. I cannot do that. So I follow them in my connection streams because I'm connected with them.
Could we do an example? Let's check to see if Mike is following me.
That's a live demo. It's dangerous.
Don't worry, Mike, I won't be offended.
So
if you want to guide him on how he can connect to me.
You bet. So one way to do that is first to find Sam. So in the search field here, you can search Amend. Oh, not this one. Yeah, the top right.
The main one.
Yeah. We're good. So here, you do not follow Sam. Shame on you.
We didn't see this happen. It's happening now.
So if you want to pick Sam's brain, and that makes sense, you can check inbox here so that you're not only connected to Sam, but you will receive everything she posts in your inbox. Just to be honest, not everything she posts. Sam interacts in many secret areas that many of us don't have access to, so we will not see this post. Okay, but everything you care about that Samantha will post now, you'll see it in your inbox.
Yeah.
Make sense?
It does. Thank you.
And obviously, just to point out, you can at any stage under the following change it to just connection stream if you decide you don't want it in your inbox, and vice versa. If you then set it up where it's connection stream and you think I'd really like to get this into my inbox, that's another way of doing it as well. You can go back into there and just press done again, so you can change the settings at any stage.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to ask, actually, Matt, it might be also helpful to everyone else. When it goes into your inbox, that is what also goes into your email address that's assigned to your profile.
Yes, indeed, and there are settings for that. I actually do not use email anymore.
Okay.
I've actually removed that. I do everything online on my devices or on the web. I don't need yet another email. I have enough emails in my life. I'm far more productive interacting from these devices than spending time on Outlook all my day and night long.
Okay.
Hey, so we've done about 4 times as long as we expected. So that's good and fun planning, right? But we've covered many stuff, like all of the attributes. They have a purpose. The goal is to share on a community, and the more we share, the more we receive. Then the searching capability. When we search in a given community, it can narrow down the search for that given community. What else did we look at? Inbox. How when you follow something, it will be followed in your inbox or connection stream or whatever custom stream you create. But the inbox is where you will see the notification real time and be able to act on.
Yeah.
Anything else I missed, Mike?
No, I don't think so. And it's right. The inbox is really the use. The inbox and the live feed from the connection stream on the Giant app is where I see all the posts, that I want to follow. And I've had notifications of something that I want to log on and post a comment on, through that route, or interesting information about what someone else is doing with server automation that fits into our environment as well.
Cool. And now that you follow Samantha in your inbox, you're going to be flooded with your knowledge. Cool.
Exactly.
Samantha, thanks a lot for setting up this conversation today. Any final takeaway from you?
I think the main thing is if customers do need any help, we do have the communities, ambassadors like yourself that own it, and there is something that I did want to point out very quickly, and it's something that if Mike could just quickly share his screen, there is a social help. So if we can go back to the main page, something that we've all forgotten. I hope you don't mind, but it's very helpful, and it's something that I've actually posted. A lot of my links that I share with my own customers would be to go onto the social help. So I don't know if we can just share that screen very quickly. And we can point out your special tips and tricks. If we go under social help and then under BMC social.
And by the way, if you click social help, it goes directly to BMC social.
So under here is also, I'm following this, and Mike, this might also be helpful for you. Any new tips and tricks, any type of advice around using communities is all posted in there. And as you can see down in the recent activity, Matt himself posts a lot into this area. So I don't know, Matt, if you want to maybe just give a very quick overview of what BMC Social provides. I've kind of done a little bit of a summary.
You bet. It's tips and tricks on how to best benefit from social activities. So mostly on BMC Communities, but we also enable on Twitter, LinkedIn, and all the other, Google Plus and everything, like what we're using today. And the best way to learn from it is to follow it. So let's finalize with this live demo, I guess. Mike, do you follow it? And I know you will not, and it's okay. So at the top of each community, you can follow it. Again, you can follow it either in connection stream where there is no notification. It just okay, I'm connected to that, or in your inbox. If you follow something in your inbox, you will see it on the web in your inbox and Drive app anytime should you want to.
Which is what I do. I do follow it that way. And the other thing to also point out on the left-hand side where it says getting started, some of the things that we've been showing people today, if you're still unaware of how certain things work, you can go under the getting started, which will give you a bit more information about your profile and tips.
Excellent.
Okay, that's all I have to share for last comments. And I think obviously I'm looking forward to the next recording where we'll discuss a few more ideas.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Thanks, Matt.
Mike, thanks a lot for playing with us today. Good luck in your next experience on BMC Communities. And Sam, thank you for setting up this call today.
Pleasure. Talk to you guys all soon.
Thanks, bye.
See ya.
Bye.